Hi, folks. Welcome back to Critico's Corner. Well, we're not even at the end of the year. Looks like we're going to get a new president, and CNN is... You gotta read this in order to believe it. Let me continue on because I don't even know how to even describe this stupidity and this bullshit. CNN's crazed Brinkley claims Trump will form a shadow government with Rush Limbaugh. Well, let's see. First of all, it's crazy that a soon-to-be, or looks like it's going to be soon-to-be, ex-president is forming a shadow government in Mar-a-Lago in Florida, but he's going to do with somebody with stage 4 lung cancer. And I love Rush to pieces, but it's just the truth. I mean, you got to be kidding me. On Saturday morning, CNN Newsroom, co-host Victor Blackwell and guest host Arma Walker collaborated with presidential historian Douglas Brinkley and political and New York Times national security correspondent David E. Sanger to push insane conspiracy theories about President Trump. Walker suggested that Trump is committing sedition, and Brinkley crazily declared that Trump will create a kind of second shadow government out of Mar-a-Lago with Rush Limbaugh. Walker began the segment by accusing Trump of trying to overturn the Electoral College. He's got every legal right to do the things that he's doing. Just chill out, dude. How ironic coming from CNN, which joined with the Democrats in 2016 by declaring that the Electoral College is democracy's ugliest anachronism, and proposed that the U.S. eradicate it to end a Trump administration. The Electoral College must be back in fashion with leftists now that preceded results favorable to them. It's astounding to me. These people make really, really good money. Way more than the average American. Look at this. Look at this. It's amazing to me. This set up a Brinkley to go on one of his typically deranged rants about Trump, and when she called Trump a tin pot dictator and claimed that Trump will hold a counter-inaugural. Oh, my God. I mean, I just did an episode on how the mainstream media hid key information to voters about making the choice for president. And then this bullshit. I used to think at the beginning that these guys just did this because they hated Trump. And for ratings, too, and clicks online. I'm beginning to really wonder, do these mental pygmies really believe this nonsense? Or is it just rhetoric to drum up ratings and clicks? Make more money? I'm not really sure anymore. I think they might believe it. Who would have thought that America would ever have a tin pot dictator? But that's what we have. President Trump's living in some kind of fantasy zone. He has a philosophy of never losing. Well, who likes losing? So he just will philosophically and emotionally refuse to believe that he lost. But at least he's going through the courts, and the courts are telling him to get lost. Wow. Philosophically and emotionally refuses to believe. Good Jesus. CNN reveals just how much it hates Trump by continuing to have Brinkley on. Just last year, Brinkley made a series of psychotic statements about the president, including gloating about Trump contracting COVID, comparing him to the founder of the American Nazi Party, claiming that his tax returns will put him in prison and labeling him an abomination. This, folks, is distortion of a whole different kind. I believe this dumbbell believes this. Trump derangement syndrome is actually real. And that itself is sad because it's twisting people. But these people are on the airwaves, so to speak. They're cable news people. They're influencing millions of people. This is a different version of the Jerry Springer show. Unbelievable. Those of you that follow the Babylon Bee, that's a website that prints false headlines. It's a joke. It's a farce. It's comical. It's just like making fun of things that are so outrageous. And a few weeks ago, they had to retract one of their articles because it ended up becoming true. These Democrat morons. These people are crazy. If the Babylon Bee put this up, you'd think it was just a spoof. Blackwell enjoyed Brinkley's crazy claim about a counter-inaugural as he stated that he would be on brand for Trump to have one. Yeah, okay. Singer also donned his tinfoil hat and suggested that his lawsuits and attempts to challenge the election through the government, that Trump may have a plan C in order to continue his defiance. Plan A and Plan B isn't working. Let's try Plan C. Let's finally see what that is. Unbelievable. Walker then cited a slam piece written by Sanger against Trump to suggest that Trump is attempting sedition. Dun, dun, dun. David, you wrote this in the New York Times, and you quoted historian Michael Beachlaw saying, quote, "This is a manufactured crisis. It is a president abusing his huge powers in order to stay in office after the voters clearly rejected him for re-election. This is what many of the founders dreaded." Yeah. I mean, this is an attempted power grab. At one point, could it amount to sedition? Dun, dun, dun. Singer told her that while Trump is not conducting sedition yet, he may attempt sedition in January. Well, my own view is it's not sedition yet because the president, as Doug pointed out, has worked within the courts so far. He's tried his political maneuver that hasn't worked. Now, if we got to the point where the electors were selected by states, forwarded to Congress, Congress is supposed to validate that on January 6th. But if he still could not work at that point, concede, allow transition to happen, but all of those things one could do after it's over, then I think you could engage that. What the hell does that even mean? Jesus. This goes why the episode I did before this is so mind-boggling. It's because of these mental pygmies. Brinkley chimed in a sedition question with perhaps his most demented rant yet, in which he bizarrely alleged that Trump will form a shadow government with Rush Limbaugh. Wow. I think that Trump's going to push it very, very to the very, very limit. But in the end, he has to recognize that he lost. He's simply trying to keep his followers. He has them. He's convinced over 70% of the Republicans it was a fraudulent election, which it was. In fact, it was one of the most well-run elections in U.S. history. Oh, I'm sorry I have to laugh here. I'm going to start choking here in a second if I laugh anymore. Almost no fraud or irregularities whatsoever. Jesus, got to be kidding me. Holy crap. Luckily, ratings on Saturday mornings are pretty low, so I guess the Sunday mornings are the worst, I guess. I think he's going to try to probably go after Joe Biden in 2024 or have Don Jr. or Ivanka involved. Well, one's his son and one's his daughter. If he runs for president, they might be involved in a campaign. What do you think? He's going to create a kind of second shadow government out of Mar-a-Lago. He practically lives next door to Rush Limbaugh. Oh, he lives by him. There it is. There's all the proof you need. Everybody that lives in the Mar-a-Lago area is part of the shadow government. The conspiracy theories are in push on CNN these days. CNN viewers are just as well off watching YouTube videos on Illuminati. Yeah, these conspiracy theories are sponsored by Arby's and Lit USA. Let them know here if you think they should be sponsoring this content. I don't want to read the full transcript. I really don't. I think that's enough. I'm still trying to believe that these idiots really don't believe this, and they're just doing this just for ratings and clicks. I'm beginning to wonder now, because now there's something worse than Trump derangement syndrome. There's Trump withdrawal symptom. The symptoms are horrendous. It's worse than a withdrawal from heroin. Without Trump, these guys are doomed. What are they going to do? It's going to be interesting for the first 6 months of next year, maybe even all of next year. And he probably won't be president. There's a good chance he won't be. It'll be Trump, 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 Trump. We got rid of this from Trump, Biden fixed this. We got rid of that from Trump, Biden fixed that. Trump's name will be constantly mentioned. It's unbelievable to me. So, Rush, Mr. President, if you need anybody in your cabinet on your ghost government, give me a call. I would love to be Secretary of State to the ghost government of the United States. Until next time, folks, goodbye and good luck.